Hello students, good day. How are you doing? It is good to have you back on this platform. Today we are going to be having our class, agricultural class, and today we are going to be considering the topic titled Fishery. Titled Fishery. Fishery is a term used to describe the science of catching or growing fish and other aquatic organisms from natural and artificial water bodies, processing and marketing these organisms. The growing of fish in an artificial pond is called fish farming. Now, in a simple term, this term fishery can be described as a science that deals with the catching, that is rearing and harvesting of fish, not only fish but other aquatic organisms, other aquatic animals in the water bodies. Okay, this is all about fish. So the growing of fish, that is the rearing of fish in artificial water bodies, or by the water body, artificial water body, that is water body that is made by man. For instance, like aquarium, for instance, like a fish pond, okay, all these are man-made, all right? So that is raising of fish, the rearing of fish in these water bodies that are natural, or that are artificial rather, is called fish farming, okay? Now let's move to the classification of fish. Now in classification of fish, there are certain criteria used in classifying fish. We can classify fish based on their habitat, that is where they live and reproduce. You can also classify fish based on their morphology. Okay, you can also classify fish based on their scale. All right, but on this topic, we are going to be considering two major forms of classification. Number one of it is a classification based on the habitat. Classification based on habitat. Number one, freshwater fish. This group of fish live only in freshwater bodies, that is, water that does not contain salt, such as freshwater ponds, streams, lakes, and rivers. All right. Number two, saltwater fish. This group of fish live only in water that contains salt, such as lagoon, ocean, and sea. Okay, based on the classification of habitat which I just mentioned earlier, when we talk about freshwater fish, these are fishes that live and reproduce inside freshwater bodies like streams, like river, okay, even ponds. All right, pond is an example of freshwater bodies. Okay, while the saltwater fish refer to the group of fishes that can live and reproduce successfully in the saltwater body. Saltwater body refer to the water that has a high degree of salinity. Okay, salinity. That salinity is spelled SALINITY. Okay, that is salinity. That has to do with the concentration of salt in any water body. Now, classification based on the body structure. Like I told you earlier, that this classification based on body structure can also be called classification based on morphology. Can also be called classification based on the morphology. Now, bony fishes. These fishes possess bony skeleton, such as tilapia and croaker. Okay, there are typical examples of bony fish. That these are the fishes that contain bony structure. Okay, their skeleton is made out of bone and not cartilage. All right, and funny enough, some of these fishes, bony fishes, are usually freshwater fishes. That are the fish that live inside freshwater bodies, like streams and lake and even pond. Okay, these are the area where you can find bony fish. Even the number two, cartilaginous fish. These fishes possess soft bone, and most of these bones are found in the salt water. Okay, most of these fishes are found in salt water. Cartilaginous fishes are the fishes that do not possess bone, okay, as their bony structure, okay, as their body frame, but they contain soft bone. This soft bone can also be called cartilages. Okay, sometimes when you are eating pig meat, there's a particular meat called biscuit bone. The biscuit bone is brittle. Your molar can, your teeth can grind it. It is very brittle, though it is bone. It appears like bone, but if you put it in your mouth, it is easy for you to grind. Now, this biscuit bone is a typical example of cartilage. Okay, now the fishes that possess something like this nature are called cartilaginous fishes. Okay, now let's move to the duties of fish and fish products. species of fish and fish byproduct. Now, what is the meaning of fish product? These fish products refer to the things that are derived from fish. Number one, it serves as a source of food to man. Fish serve as a source of food to man. Like I told you when we are doing our class, if you could remember, I told you there are two primary sources of protein. Protein can be derived from plants and from animals. Okay, and from animals, these are the typical example of protein. The fish is an example of a typical example of an animal. So the flesh of fish when give protein to the body of man when consumed. So it's a major source of protein to human diet. Number two, it's a great source of protein. The great source of protein, I just mentioned that. Now you don't function of protein in the body to repair the worn tissue. They are used as bodybuilder. That is why protein is very essential for our growth and for our diet. Number three, it generates foreign exchange when they are exported to other countries. There are some countries in the world, okay, that they export fish to other countries as a source of foreign exchange, the foreign as income. Countries that are surrounded by large water bodies like Thailand, okay, so they have water bodies all around them. So this type of country going to fish farming. They harvest fish in large quantity. They have a very massive machine for harvesting large quantity of fishes. When the fishes are harvested, so they can sell to other countries like Nigeria. Okay, many of the fish that we buy in Nigeria, some of them are imported product. See, so this is a major form of foreign exchange to the country that engage in church business. Okay, number four, oil from fish are used to manufacture medicine. Okay, like I told you earlier, that one of the byproduct of fish is what? Is fish liver oil. This liver oil can be used for so many things, especially by pharmaceutical industry that produce medicine, okay, that produce drug. They can be used to produce what? To produce drug, whether drug that's very rich in protein or drug that's very rich in iron or whatever. So they can use this. All this are derived from fish. It's a typical example of importance or usage of fish and fish byproduct. Then number five, it provides job and income to many people. Okay, fish farming provides job for people. What fish farming provides direct job and indirect job for people. Now, what's the meaning of direct job? For instance, people that engage in fish farming, someone that has a pond. Okay, that has a pond. After the fishes in the pond that are mature and they get to marketable time, maybe after 6 months, you harvest those fishes and sell to people. Some people venture to that as a major source of income. That is a direct form of employment to them. Okay, there are some people too, though they do not have a fish pond, but they work on fish. They work on a byproduct produced from fish. Like I said the other time, the liver oil that is derived from fish, okay, can be used by pharmaceutical industry, by the pharmacists to produce drug. It means that because there is liver oil that can be derived from fish, the people that work in the pharmacy, okay, the pharmacists can work on it. So that means it indirectly provide job for them. Number six, shell of oyster and peregrines are sometimes mixed with sand and cement for building purposes. You can see that now. This shell is very rich in calcium. Okay, even the shell is very rich in calcium. Shell of oyster. Don't forget this oyster refers to what? Another aquatic animal. Okay, and even the peregrines. Okay, aquatic animal. Their shell is very rich in calcium. It can also be mixed with animal diet. Okay, like livestock, like bears, to supply calcium to them. It can also be mixed with cement and other things for building purposes. Okay, now fishing method. This fishing method here refers to the method of harvesting fish, maybe in the pond or on the large water bodies. Okay, maybe like ocean, like stream, like river. Now, what are the methods used or that can be used for harvesting fishes? So that is the meaning of this fishing method. Number one, trapping. This involves the setting of traps to catch fish. The use of gears made from ropes or raffia woven into various model of enclosure. Okay, this method involves the use of trap. You can set the trap in the water just to get the fishes. Then number two, netting. It involves the use of various type of net to catch fish. This is a very primitive and old method. What people still use in rural areas. You see them putting net in the pond to catch fish, to harvest fish or to crop fish. Okay, now that is that. Then number 3, electrofishing. This involves the use of electricity to catch fish, like current sent across killing of fishes between poles. So this involves the use of electricity, okay, to harvest, to get fish caught right in the water body. Though this method is not popular, especially to part of us in Nigeria here. It's not commonly used. Okay. Now number 4, draining of pond. This involves draining of pond water for easy use of net. Okay, when you have your pond, you have your fish pond, you want to harvest the fishes there that mature maybe after 6 months, so you want to drain. Okay, you want to harvest your fish, and the process of harvesting fish is called cropping. Okay, please do not forget that. When the fishes in the pond are mature, the process of harvesting them is called cropping. Cropping is spelled cropping. Cropping. That is cropping. So the process of putting fish into the pond is called stocking. Okay, when your fishes are still very small, they may be fingerlings or fry, you put them in the pond. Okay, you want to raise them for about 6 months for them to get to marketable size or marketable size. So the process of putting the fingerlings into the pond, into the water bodies, okay, to raise them up to marketable size is called stocking. Stocking is spelled STOCKING. STOCKING. That is stocking. Okay, please take note of that and don't forget that. Then number 5, ultrasonic. This is an instrument which can make sound in water and attract fishes so that they can be trapped. Okay, ultrasonic refers to the machine that do make noise in the pond just to draw the attention of the fishes for them to get caught. Now, likewise, this method is not popular in Western Nigeria where we are now. Okay, so but it is used in other parts of the world where they have the equipment to perform to use this method. Okay. Impaling, it is the use of spear to attack and catch big fishes. Okay, that is called impaling. Use of spear. Okay, this is used by those in river area, in riverine area around the water bodies. Is also a primitive and traditional method used in catching fish. Use of spear, okay, to attack fish and catch big fish in the pond. Now, fishing tools. Fishing tools are also called gears. Please take note of that. Fishing tools are also called what? Are also called, that is, we want to discuss certain material that can be used for cropping. Okay, don't forget what I said cropping is. I said cropping is the process of what? Or out of harvesting fish, harvesting mature fish from the pond. Now, when I say cropping in this context, what should come to your mind with harvesting of fish? I hope you get that correctly. Now I want to look at various materials, various items that can be used for harvesting fish. And these are called what? Gears. Take note of them. Number 1 is fishing net. They are generally used for harvesting fishes from either pond, streams, river, ocean, sea, etc. There are various types of nets. Okay, there are various types of words. Number 1, there we have a scoop net. You have the picture of a scoop net in your note, in the note of this class. Okay, scoop net. It is a small net which may be rectangular or cylindrical in shape with the required size. Okay, that is required mesh size. That is O mesh size. Okay, in between the basket. It has a wide mouth and a short or long handle. Okay, if you want to make use of this scoop net, is this handle that is long, like a ruler. That is where you pick. Okay, you hold it from there and then insert the scoop net into the pond. Then the fish will enter the net, will enter the basket. When you enter the basket, then you lift it up. By the time you lift it up, the water will begin to gush out from the hole, the mesh around the basket. Okay, while the fish will now be left only inside the basket. Be take note of that. In your forthcoming basic examination, you can be asked to identify this particular item. You can be given a picture and be asked to mention the importance or name this particular material. But do not forget, this is the shape of a scoop net. 2, we have a geese net. They are used to harvest bigger fishes, leaving the smaller fishes until they attain bigger size. This geese net, the method The techniques of using gift net is that the net will trap the gills of the fish, okay, while the smaller fish will pass through the mesh. The mesh refers to the holes within the net of this gift net. Okay, but the gift net will attach the gills. Don't forget the importance of gills. Okay, in animal is for what? In fish, for instance, is for respiration. Okay, so it will attack, it will hook up the gills of the fish. Then number 3, we have the sear net. It is capable of collecting all the fishes in the pond at once because it has a smaller mesh size than the gill net. The meaning of this mesh, I told you earlier, is referred to the holes between the net. If you see the picture of the net, you see hole in between. The size of that hole, that is called mesh. Alright? Now, this sear net, it has a smaller size. It can harvest both bigger and smaller fish in a pond at the same time. But this gill net, as I mentioned earlier, can only harvest only mature fish. Why? Because the size of the net is large, so the small fishes can still maneuver their way and get out of the gill net. But the bigger fishes will be trapped, okay, inside the gill net. So the major difference between the gill net and the sear net is that the gill net is used for harvesting big fish because the small fish can still escape through the mesh, through the smaller mesh. But while the sear net can be used for harvesting both fish and the large fish. Now the fishing trawler. This is large fishing boat in which large net called sear net can be what? Can be attached. It is used for harvesting large fishes in deep areas or ocean. So this fishing trawler, the sear net is a machine which the sear net is attached to it. Okay, and it is used in a large water bodies like stream, like ocean, like river, like lake, lagoon. Okay, it is used for harvesting large quantity of fish. Then we have the fishing basket. Fishing basket. The fishing basket is designed like a basket. It has a cylindrical shape with a wide mouth. There is a trigger close to the mouth which holds the bait. The bait attracts the fish, and when it enters the basket, the trigger pulls down and the basket closes. Okay, we have a sample. The fishing basket is there in the note of this discussion. 6, hook and line. It has a long wooden handle, a long line, rope or twine, a float, and a hook which hold the bait. While the fish tries to bite the bait, it swallows the hook, thus gets caught. Now, this hook and line is one of the most primitive fishing tools. Please do not forget, this hook and line is the most commonly used fishing tools. Alright? Do not forget them. And the technique behind it, as you can see the shape of that, you can see the woody handle, the wood there. You see the rope attached to it, the line attached to it. Okay, at the base of it, you see the hook. Okay, that hook is mental. All right, it is the pointed part is very sharp, so the bait is attached to the pointed part, look like you, okay, of that hook. So when it's being thrown into the water, the bait will attract the fish. As the fish attempt to eat the bait, it will get hooked